And we're live. Bit of a delay there, but we're doing a Let's Look live on MSR. I did a tweet about it on Friday, so right before the weekend. I put up just a real basic rundown of the stock, but I didn't have time to research. So I just got the basics. I liked what I saw, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go right in. So the sell side was getting wiped slowly, so I thought I'd just hop in based on what I discovered. Now, I do hold this stock. I bought in on Friday, and what I'm doing is basically just researching further into the stock because I just haven't had time to look at it. I kind of bought in on the back of some basic information about the stock that I was pretty happy with. And the fact is that they were at 5.2 million market cap at the time. They had 7.7 million cash, so they were below cash backing, and they had a pretty low burn rate of 400k per quarter. So these guys are doing gold drilling. Now, there is a big problem with the stock in that they have 2.6 billion shares. Now, that is well out of my trading plan. I normally don't trade anything that has more than 800 million shares. It's just a terrible thing to do. But on the rare occasion, I find something I like and I make an exception. So I'm going to look a little bit further and into this stock, and nothing here is a recommendation to buy or sell. This is just simply an analysis of a stock that I already own, and I'm just looking a bit further into the stock, and if you find interest in it, then great. If not, then, well, see ya. So Manus Resources off the bat has 2.6 billion shares. So every tick that it goes up is $2.6 million effectively. So that out of the way, I noticed these guys were doing a drill campaign in Auger, which is the name of their site, basically. And it's above Tongan. Now, Tongan is owned by Barrick. Barrick is a $67 billion market cap company. They do mining all over the place. In fact, if I bring up the annual report, they have mines everywhere. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, they basically have 20 mines around the world. So you can see, you can't just say, look, these guys have a mine in Tonga, it has X amount of gold, therefore it's a 67 billion market cap company. That's what a lot of people do, is they pick out who owns what and then attach the entire market cap to it, and it's a stupid thing to do, but people do it. So no, it's not going to be a 60 billion market cap company if they match the gold grades, right? I'm not entirely sure what it's worth just yet, but Tongan, this one here, you can see just kind of the stats on it. And Tongan is 10 kilometers below Auger, which is the drill campaign. And I got some stats on Tongan, so this doesn't represent what Auger could potentially be. It just shows you what Tongan has. Now, neurology is a thing, right? You see something like the recent spec boom of SPX. I mean, that was a few months ago, but SPX multi-bagged sat at 100 million market cap because it hit really high-grade gold. And the surrounding stocks around it, like SRN, and I did a use case study on SRN, if you want to see that video of what happened there, it basically just rose along with it. And a bunch of other stocks nearby, RXL as well, rose because they're right next to SPX. And right next to is a subjective term, but the point is neurology is a thing for gold, because where you find gold, there's clusters, typically. I believe it's to do with the geology of the surrounding regions, right? You've got a greenstone belt in, say, in WA, in the Pilbara region, so you're going to find clusters of gold there. So that's the idea behind neurology. It's not a guarantee of anything. It's just how gold mining works, and people like to tell the story of neurology plays. And that's something that I suspect will happen a lot, considering that the price of gold at the moment is pretty much going to go bonkers, 1700 US an ounce, and probably rising with the fall of the US over the weekend, or just before the weekend, and likely continuation on the fall. So for me, it's not just about the cash backing at, it's sitting at 7.7 million cash at 5 million market cap. It's the fact that they're also looking at gold, and they're looking at gold in a region where they've already discovered some. So we can see Tongan here if I probably just zoom in, you know what? I probably should have done that a while ago. So if I zoom in here, we can see Tongan is right next to, the Mbengu Pro. Look, these are French words, right? We're going to call it the Ben project. Now, if we have a look, this is the drilling that they'd done on their initial campaign. It was a 1,000-meter drill campaign, and it's out of the 4,000 meters that they have. So I believe I've got an announcement open somewhere. They got some COVID-19 related stuff. So yeah, so here it is. And look, I haven't dug deep into MSR. I've just got a bunch of tabs open, so I'm kind of just doing the research now. And it's 1 in the morning, so powering through. So yeah, these guys did a 1,000-meter drill campaign out of the 4,000, and they haven't mentioned when they're going to commence. One of the latest announcements says it's going to be end of March. This is one of the older announcements that says they've basically on a pause. So a total of 1,000 meters has been completed, and this, I believe, this is the 1,000 meters that they've done. So if we scroll down, we can see. No, it's not in this document. Sorry, and we see the kind of grades that are coming out, and they're kind of reflective of what's happening in Tongan. So here it is. Here's the Ben permit, and this is the auger drilling location. So that's about 10 kilometers away. So for anyone who cares about the neurology play of the stock. And there you go, 4.5 million ounces at the Tongan, which is good because this document here, this is Tongan. This is from Barrick, a 65 billion market cap company. And yeah, so this is the stats that they have. They put out 245,000 ounces in 2019, and they've got about 1.2 million ounces left. So that's that. Now, if you're wondering what that's worth, basically a lot of money. I mean, I'm not too sure because I've never really valued a company that has millions upon millions of ounces of gold. But I don't suspect Auger will produce millions and millions. In fact, I don't expect it'll produce anything of substance at all, in fact. The reason is because neurology has never really worked for me in the sense that I usually trade the story. I don't actually wait for the drill results. I don't care about the drill results. There's like a 1% chance that, maybe less, 1% chance that you're going to get something significant. In general, right? This is not to say that these guys have a 1% chance or less, but in general, when you're looking at spec stocks that have neurology play, look, most of them are pretty garbage. But it is the story about the neurology, and that's what people buy into. People buy into the story that these guys are next to a multi-million ounce mine, and 10Ks ain't that far away. And that's pretty much what I'm trading. I'm trading the potential story. And if you watch my previous videos, you know that I don't trade fundamentals for microcaps, really, unless it's got strong financials. That's all I care about. It's either got a good story or good financials, or both. So let's have a look at the grades here. Now this is interesting. I'm really surprised that based on the current drilling results that we have, that it's still sitting below cash backing. Now for a microcap junior explorer, you don't get 28 meters of 8 grams a ton gold below 10 million market cap usually. I guess COVID-19 era, things are a bit uncertain. Maybe investors aren't that interested in microcaps in this space, but it is gold, and that's pretty much what makes me overlook the 2.6 billion shares, which is horrific. Every time I think about 2.6 billion shares, my gut kind of just fucking wrenches. That's the only thing I really don't like about this stock, is the significant amount of shares that it has. So these guys have pretty good drilling, and I think it's ASX tip video number 9 is my drill results video, and I specifically focus on gold as well. So if you guys want to check that out and have a better understanding of how to read drill results, pretty much these guys have 28 meters of an average grading of 8.4 grams a ton. Now what's missing here is how deep the drill is. I can't seem to find that information. If this is 400 meters deep, yeah, that sucks. If it's under 100 meters, that is brilliant. So I can see down here in this table here, I can see almost everything is from 0 meters deep. So everything seems to be at the surface, but I can't seem to see those grades above listed in this table. That's my only kind of concern, is where are those drill results? I'm probably going to dig in a bit further. But we can see even here, look, this is a 2 meter strike. It's not that great. 2 meter strike at 9 grams a ton. It's like, yeah, okay, 2 meters, I don't care. Like, I don't care about 2 meter strikes. It could be a 2 meter, 100 grams a ton strike. I still couldn't care less. It needs to be thick, and it needs to be shallow as well. So coming back up here, can't tell how deep this is. I'll have to look somewhere else. But still, 28 meters at 8 grams is fantastic. 58 meters at 1.5 is still good. That's still good. I'm thinking back to Alt Resources, ARS. I'm pretty sure they're the ones that have a lot of 20 to 30 meter strikes at 2 grams a ton sort of range. And they're sitting at about 17 to 20 million market cap with 240,000 ounces total across their projects, I think. This is just off the top of my head. But yeah, you can see these strikes here are fantastic. 6 meters at 4 grams. That's pretty much mid-grade. And just a lot of strikes across the board, actually. But these ones on the left-hand side are quite impressive. Those are not only decent grades, but they're very long. Typically for a micro cap, you'll get a bunch of garbage grades like, let's say, like 4 meters at 1.76, for example. So you'll get a lot of those in the microcap space. Now here's the thing, these guys are sitting at around 5 million market cap with gold strikes like this. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with the 2.6 billion shares that are keeping it down. That wouldn't surprise me. Again, another reason I don't particularly like those kinds of stocks with lots and lots of shares. But having said that, if we look at the quarterly, and I don't have the quarterly open, so let me open up the quarterly. Quarterly cash flow. So if we just scroll down, scroll up, we can see that these guys have staff costs and admin costs of about 100, just under 100K. 100K. Now that's good considering they spend this much money on drilling campaigns and equipment. So we've got $370,000 roughly of exploration and equipment, which is good. So normally when you see a microcap junior explorer, you're going to have like 250, 300 grand for staff costs and then 100 grand for exploration. That's a huge red flag for me anyway. You basically want a company that doesn't pay its staff and admin fees very high and focuses on the actual drilling campaign. So a lot of these companies are lifestyle companies where they just line their own pockets. But this one doesn't seem to strike me as a company that does that purely based on its quarterly 4C. So scrolling down, the important part here is that they have 7.2 million in cash. Now, this isn't a guarantee that they're not going to capital raise. It just reduces the risk of capital raising. Like I've seen companies with shit tons of cash and they still cap raise just for the fuck of it. So I don't know. It's a possibility, but it's heavily reduced when these guys have 7.7 mil cash. It's just very unlikely. So yeah, that pretty much covers it, I think. Having a look at the quarterly. We've already talked about the distance from the Tongan mine, so that there's a neurology play there. Again, here's the little ring around here, so that it's a terrible color in white, but it says 10 kilometers. So yeah, it's exactly 10 kilometers away, the drill campaign. So I do look forward to the actual results. I'm still kind of tossing up whether I want to hold it for the actual drill results because these look pretty good, but I'm more interested ultimately in the story. And the story is these guys have fantastic grades. They're trading below market cap value. So these guys have 7.7 million cash, and they're trading below. They're trading at cash backing, basically. Let's put it that way. Cash backing, ignoring the tenements and everything that they have. So, look, I think it's an awesome trade. I will be selling some. I don't know about all, but I will be selling before the results, I think. I'd have to think about it, just because the grades are so nice. I'd probably maybe tossing up in the air. It's either I sell everything before the results come out, or I sell half before the results come out, and then I look and see what the results are. I'm still sort of tossing, umming and ahhing about it. But ultimately, the story just looks too good, and that's ultimately why I bought into it. Someone pointed it out to me late on Friday, and I saw the sell side getting wiped. Just a real quick research, and I thought, yep, I'll just buy into it because it sounds good. And looking in deeper, it just, I don't know, it stands out to me. So I've got 11 people watching live at the moment. Does anyone have any opinions on this dog stock? Now, I shouldn't feel the need to say this, but talking about this stock, it's not financial advice. It's not a recommendation to buy or sell. It's just a educational video, educational live stream on why I bought and further research. No one in chat at all? I do have latency on very high at the moment, so it's about a 1.5 minute delay. So I might, in the meantime, try and find these draw results here. And there was a move here. If we have a look, there was a high volume move 23rd of April. Let's have a look at what actually happened there. I haven't seen... Website's not working. I haven't actually seen what happened on the 23rd of April, so I figured I may as well just do it now. So drilling identifies 2 major... Okay, there we go. So that caused the initial move. Hopefully we'll be able to see how deep the results are as well. Nope, that's the exact same document I had. That's really bizarre. So that's a bit of a red flag as well, as not being able to tell how deep the results are. I mean, I don't think these directly reflect what's happening up here. That's a shame. That's a shame. Anyway, that's pretty much it. So, I don't know. I think it's alright. That's pretty much the depth of my analysis at 1 in the morning. It's alright. I think I've pretty much said everything I need to say about the stock, based on what I've discovered on it. So I would avoid headlines like this as well. 23 grams a ton. It's like, yeah, but how deep and what's the intercept? Okay, so 2 meters at 23 grams a ton. So that's pretty meaningless. I would ignore headlines like that. That's just trying to sell trash. And ultimately, MSR is trash. Make no mistake of it. Every micro cap under 10 mil is trash. It's just about picking which trash is going to move. So, in my opinion, this may move. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Thanks for not contributing. I appreciate it. Talking to myself. Have a good night.